What's going on? Back here at the boatyard, I pretty much just finished rigging everything up. Everything except mounting the motor, honestly. I'm gonna give you a little preview of what it looks like right now, but I ran into another dilemma. Here's how she's looking. 12-gallon gas tank, brand new starting battery. Center console is mounted and sealed through some rod holders on the side. This is a brand new deep cycle battery. I gotta figure a way to get it under there. I might have to look at some Carolina Skiff forums to see how other people are rigging it up there. Otherwise, I might just have to run some wire and maybe tuck it under the center console. That way I can mount some speakers as well. I got this measuring tape. I mounted the trolling motor, like the easy plate. So that's on there. That was pretty easy as well. Mounted the fire extinguisher. Put these rod holders back in. Pretty much everything else that I have to do is just mounting the motor and wiring everything, which will be, you know, a task for sure, but this is where I'm probably gonna leave it today. Oh, I'm gonna get one of those micro anchor power poles and get it in these. So I just installed these maybe 20 minutes ago. Here's my dilemma though, and it's kind of a annoying thing, but it's definitely not the end of the world. The way that I just set everything up was to, you know, my liking, I guess, my preferences. Like the rod holders on the left, controls on the right, but I went to install and didn't even realize that the controls are supposed to be on the left. Every boat that I've ever had has right-handed controls. So basically I got to take this off, put it on the other side, move those rod holders onto this side, and then mount the controls on the other side. Again, not really the end of the world, but I'm right-handed. My preference is always steer with my left hand, throttle with my right hand. So it'll definitely be a interesting thing running it controls with the left hand. But that's pretty much the only hurdle I ran into today. Threw a fresh coat of Rust-Oleum on those wheels. Threw some drain plugs in both sides. I got these holes sealed up, but I'm gonna go get some fiberglass resin and just pack a little in here and in these down here, just so I don't ever run into any problems with like water logging and these like letting water in. But that's pretty much it. Give me like 10 or 15 minutes, I'm gonna switch everything to the opposite side. Okay, so I have everything switched around. Switched the gas tank and the battery too, which seems a little more practical now because the filler cap is like exposed now. Like I said in the last video, I still have a lot of this foam, so I'm going to come back here and put a special piece of foam for the gas tank and a special piece of foam for the battery back here. Moved the fire extinguisher to this side, mounted the controls. Like I said, man, this really bothers me that it's on the left side, but it's not the end of the world. So I mean, threw some transom ties on there. It's really just left to the last three things. Mount the motor, I guess 4 things if I throw some fiberglass on these exposed holes, and then mount the motor, wire the motor, wire the trolling motor to the battery, and figure out where I'm going to put this battery, because this is really going to be a designated cooler spot. But I mean, there's already through holes on the center console all over the place, so it wouldn't be much to run a power cable from the front all the way to the center console. But I mean, that's it for today at least. She's looking like a real boat now. How about that? How about that? Got a key made at the Yamaha dealership, and it was only $14. The one that I got on Amazon was just like too generic. So I took the controls to the Yamaha dealership, and they like opened up the ignition and looked at the number on it and matched the key to this exact ignition. But I was just surprised that it was 14 bucks. You really can't beat it. At a Yamaha dealership, I was just assuming everything was outrageously expensive. Yeah, all in a day's work, bud. All in a day's work. Tomorrow, after all that, I can kind of work on the trailer a little bit. But proud of where she's come. She's come a long way. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm covered in fiberglass. I love being out in the sun. Pop the tee off, but when you're rolling around, getting under compartments, bolting things on, just getting fiberglass dust all in your pores, it's gonna be a rough evening. But appreciate you tuning in, and see you tomorrow. Peace. I just picked up the power pole, like the spike from West Marine, so I'm about to go back and just clip that on, so I don't have it just hanging out in the car. But I figured I would take a second to kind of tell you how I got this boat so cheap. I had to go up to Georgia to get it. I think it was in like Jessup, Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. But he didn't have a title. I know a little bit more about titles than the average boater, but I know that they didn't start titling boats in Georgia until 2000. So all I had to do was take a bill of sale into the DMV here in Florida and just get it titled in my name. So he was selling it super cheap because it didn't have a title. That works for me. I think it was like $80 total to get the title, out-of-state title in my name. But yeah, that I think I paid like 2,500 bucks for the boat, and so far I'm like maybe 1,500 into it, completely, even with the motor, because I got that amazing deal on the motor a couple of weeks ago. So I mean, I've had some room to work, get a little bit of the finer things to put on this boat. But yeah, I just wanted to say that before I peaced out. Tomorrow's the big day, the motor mounting day. I really need to start like making sure that I'm done with the video before I peace out. But yeah, we're done for good now. Peace.